Hi guys, I want to talk to you about Jamaica. I don't care if you're stopping for 2-3 days on a trip, if you're staying there for 1 week in a resort, or if you're gonna go move there for business, for work, for whatever, you need to watch this video. You need to understand what we know here. We lived on the island for 18 months. We live in absolute luxury there in Kingston at the top of the hill in a magnificent.
What's up? What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video from Word on the Street. Let me take this opportunity before I go any further to, wish you guys, first of all, wish you had a wonderful, Christmas holidays, and, wish for you a prosperous, blessed, and everything that's good new year 2022. All right, so yes guys, welcome once more to another video. This video here is of this guy. I'm sure a lot of you maybe have seen this video with this gentleman here, Mr. Mario Stinger, who is saying some things that about Jamaica, that this is why he will never go back to Jamaica, because of some things that he and his family has been through. So I'm sorry. First of all, let me say, dishonesty is really a hell of a thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna pretend here that Jamaica is a paradise, or all paradise. Let me put it that way, because a lot of people can vouch that Jamaica is one of the best places they've ever vacationed. But this gentleman seemed to have had some problem. When I just watched this video, I thought more or less that maybe he or before I watched the video, I should say, I thought he probably went through some real ordeal for him to be doing this video. But I word on the street proved otherwise. And it's not as all as what he has made it out to be. First of all, let me say this: if you're gonna give reasons why you won't ever visit a country, then you have to give some valid reasons, not some little petty things that it's like everyday life, everyday living, things that people go through on a daily basis. But anyway, let us go down some more in the video, and I'm not gonna be commenting on everything that this man is talking about, because some of it is just real crazy. It's not even worth commenting on. All right, so I'll pinpoint a few things as we go along and watch the video. All right, so let's go in a little further on it.
House with a beautiful view, a private pool. My daughter was going to the best school at $30,000 a year. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you this in addition. If you watch my video about being a member of Hard Rock, I'm an Hall of Fame at Hard Rock with a house.
All right, let me back up a little bit. Let me back up just a tad bit.
Lived on the island for 18 months. We live in absolute luxury there in Kingston at the top of the hill in a magnificent house with a beautiful view, a private pool. My daughter was going to the best school at $30,000 a year. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you this in addition. If you watch my video about being a member of Hard Rock, I'm an Hall of Fame at Hard Rock with $500,000 invested in there, okay? And I have the best bloody benefit you can ever hope to have in a resort. And if the owners of Hard Rock are calling me today to say, Mario, I'm gonna send you there, first class, private jet, whatever, and you're gonna stay 2 weeks on the island, and I'm gonna pay for everything for you, I will not go. My family as a whole will never step foot on the island of Jamaica again. Okay, my daughter is 9 years old today, and if you ask her, would you ever want to go back to Jamaica? She will say, never, no way. Okay, why? I want to tell you this in this video before you go there. If you still have this kind of like pink glasses about the island and blue lagoon and beautiful place, yeah, on a physical place, you know, like if you're talking the beaches and stuff, yes, Jamaica is great. If you're talking about everything else, I will go to Iraq, and I've been. I will go to Afghanistan, and I've been there before I go back on the island of Jamaica. Okay, my daughter was bitten by a dog on Jamaica. My daughter was also stung in the face. My wife was attacked. She defended herself. She's a small little 110 pounds, fully wet, okay, girl, and she managed to defend herself against a 6 foot tall Jamaican. Okay.
All right. First thing. He said his daughter was bitten by a dog, stung in the face by bees, or maybe it's wasp. I don't know which one it is, but let me say this. Can anyone tell me where in the world you can go and it's not a possibility that you won't be stung by some bees, some wasp, you name it. There are, creatures, parasites, whatever you want to call them, everywhere in the world, right? So this is the first thing that caught my attention with this man here, because to be coming on YouTube to make a video and telling people, the first thing that you tell someone not to go to Jamaica because you're gonna get stung by bees or a dog or whatever. That can happen anywhere you go. So this is one of the petty things that he has come up with. All right, so let's just get that one out the way, and it's a whole lot of petty stuff that he's coming up with. All right, so let's listen again.
When he attacked her, I was almost carjacked. We moved literally to 9 different countries and visited 60, okay? And I would never go back to Jamaica. Let me tell you why. Okay, first of all, the heat. Now, that's not a problem. We've lived in warmer countries. We lived in Africa. We lived in Philippines. It's warmer than Jamaica or close enough. But over there, you had the AC. Jamaica has the most expensive electricity in the world. Most people are actually grifting on the grid. So the problem is, by stealing electricity, it increases the price of it for everybody else. And JPS cannot keep up. So the thing is let's say you have a compound with 10 people and you get your electricity bill at the end of the month. The truth is, if somebody grift to your electricity, you will have to pay, even if you're not the one responsible, even if it's your neighbor, even if it's like somebody that steals the grid from that pack of 10 neighbors, you will have to pay. They will see, okay, you're supposed to pay $800 electricity a month, and I'm not joking, this is what we were paying in the summer, okay? And somebody steal $100 of electricity, they're gonna distribute that to everybody, so you're gonna pay the difference. It's absolutely that crazy. The second thing is the food. Food on the island is super expensive, and as the island is extremely dangerous, the UN does not allow us, or the embassies don't allow you to go buy the food with the locals. Now, you may not have better quality with the local anyway, but at the supermarket,
Okay, this is another one. He said the UN don't allow them to go buy food from the locals, right? So my first question is to Mr. Mario. These pictures that you're showing of food, where were these pictures taken if you are not allowed to go buy food from the locals? Right? That's my first question to you. Where are these pictures taken from? What kind of store are they taken from? Okay, let me listen again.
Looks like after a zombie apocalypse. I'm not joking. Most of the time, the fruit is either rotten or it's very bad. They don't remove the food from the, like you would have, let's say in Montreal, for example, they would remove the food the second the food doesn't look nice.
Okay, all right. He just said UN doesn't allow them to go buy food from the locals. And now he's talking about food in stores, rotten. All right. So you're trying to tell me that you go in supermarkets, obviously you're showing supermarket shelves, right? And you're showing food that has gone spoiled, right? Now, this is kind of contradicting yourself and what you're saying, because UN doesn't allow you to go and buy food from the locals, but you're showing food in stores that has gone spoiled, and they're still selling them, obviously, because Jamaica doesn't know any better. I don't know what stores you've been to, Mr. Mario, but I can tell you that's one thing. You will, if I'm not saying you won't find food in a store in Jamaica that's spoiled, but trust me, it's not on that large scale that you're showing here. You might find a one and two stuff that, kind of got lost in somewhere on the shelf and it wasn't taken off. But what you showed there, I can say that's a lie. Okay. So this is just anyway. Let's go again.
Or is not great. Over there, even if it's rotten, they're gonna leave it there, okay? Because people are still buying it and at extremely high price.
Okay, and you hear that? They're gonna leave it on the shelves because people are still buying it. So he's trying to make it out now that Jamaicans don't know better, because if they go in the stores and see rotten food on the shelf, they're gonna still buy it because they're suffering so much they can't do better than buying spoiled food, right? Is that what you're saying? This man is so what's the word I'm trying to find? He's such a liar, I can say that's a lie, and I know a lot of people, including tourists, and people that visit Jamaica, that's a lie. You'll never go to in a store in Jamaica and see food like shelves like that with rotten foods and people still buying it. No, these pictures that he's showing seem to me like they're more like maybe after a hurricane or something, and people buy up a lot most of the stuff from the shelves, and the stores are practically empty. For the rotten ones, I can't talk about that because I don't know where he got those pictures from. But I know, for to reassure you guys that have never visited Jamaica, you will never go into a store in Jamaica and find rotten food on shelves like that for people to buy. Okay? All right.
Nice. Now, we didn't pay taxes on the island, so I could bring my BMW there and not pay a dime. And I also could, didn't pay anything like when I was importing stuff. So I bought a $1,000 set of cameras. No problem. I don't pay taxes. But if you have to, 65% import tax. You bring a laptop that's $2,000, you're going to pay $3,000 for that laptop. This is a huge issue on the island, and you're going to be constantly searched when you land as well. So if you think that you're going to just fly in, you're going to have some issues. You won't be able to do that. Now, another big issue you have in Jamaica is micro theft. Now, I'm not talking about this jokey video of, wow, this is my maid, she's still bread that I made. Okay, whatever. But the idea is micro theft is an extreme issue on the island for resort and personally. So that means what? That means micro theft means somebody's going to come and steal little things. Might steal your jewelry, might steal like food or something like that. Or will steal, let's say, like my maid used to steal rice or steal peanuts or cashew nuts or something like that. So if it's $30 a kilo on the island, she might just steal half a kilo, and then you realize that, oh, did we eat that much? No, the maid's stealing it. Okay, that happened tremendously. My daughter's toys, crazy how many toys she lost, okay? All the time they were stealing things. This is incredible. Another thing that's also a big issue is nannies and maids. Okay, we actually went through maids, through agencies, and personally like crazy until we brought a Filipina in. For nannies, the locals are hiring Filipinos because they don't even trust their own Jamaican neighbors to actually take care of their own kids. Okay, this is a big issue as well on the island. Staffing is an extreme issue on the island, in my opinion, in my experience. Okay, and I'm not just talking.
So, so wait a minute. So, folks, and mainly for you guys that still lives in Jamaica. I've left there for a while now. Maybe I'm lost in transition or something, and I'm not, I'm not understanding what is going on. So, you're trying to tell me that we're importing Filipinos to work in Jamaica now as nannies. I've never heard of that before. But obviously we can see that this man here is on some little petty things. And I found out a few information on him, but I'm just waiting a little bit, listening some more to have you guys listen some more on what is going on here. Because this man is talking a whole lot of smack, and he has his motives why he's saying all of these things. But Mr. Mario, if you have something, a business venture going on, why not just come up and just you know advertise whatever you're doing, advertise your business instead of trying to use Jamaica as a scapegoat. Because you realize a lot of people love Jamaica, visit Jamaica often, and all of that. You know, just state your business, advertise your business if you want to. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's go a little further in the video.
About maids here. For example, I had my kid that was being brought to school by the school bus. At one point, it was too much detour and it took too long, so I decided to hire a private transportation. Well, the guy did a good job for a few weeks, and then after that, he never showed up. 3 weeks later, he comes back. And I'm like, why are you here now? I had to hire someone else, or I had to drive her to school myself. Oh, me no more money, man. I have money now, no money. So I need work. And you just come back like this, okay? And it's exactly what happened to a bunch of friends of mine. Okay, the staff just like quit without telling you. They come back months later. It's just.
Okay, and that's another thing. Mr. Mario, I think, in my opinion, he's someone that went down to Jamaica thinking he can manipulate people, and work them, without paying them or paying them enough money, and thinking, oh, they're underprivileged people, so I can pay them anything I want to. Now let me explain something to you a little bit, Mr. Mario. Um, I'm one of them, and I can tell you, most Jamaicans are proud people, right? And a lot of us might be poor, we are not rich, but we're not gonna take any crap from anybody, no matter how rich you are, or what you think or who you think you are, right? So I think Mr. Mario went down to Jamaica thinking, he could manipulate people and pay them, little or nothing to get things done, right? Because I'm thinking that's what's going on. What happened with him? He talks about the nannies and especially that taxi man. You know, I think he was trying to use people, and they realized what he was up to. So that's why he's saying all of this now, because it didn't work out as the way he thought it would, right? And obviously we can see that from a lot of these things that he's saying. He's a person that went down to Jamaica thinking he's so privileged and he's so much way above, Jamaicans. He can go down there and get his ass licked, you know. But he got a rude awakening because he didn't really know what type of people Jamaicans really were, you know. So he's coming with all this crap now. All right. Okay. Next.
Anyway, super tough, and you really have issues hiring foreigners. The Chinese can do it because they invest the money on the island, but they are bringing Chinese from China to do construction because they cannot rely on the Jamaican. Same thing with the maids, same thing with the nannies. That's tough. And that also impact resort and your service when you go there. So that's why when people ask me, should I go to a resort in Mexico or Jamaica? That's not even a question. Go to Mexico. The other
Boom, there it is. Now, word on the street is that Mr. Mario, you just heard what he said, right? Go to Mexico. Now, word on the street is that Mr. Mario had some business ventures in Mexico where he's selling timeshare, right? And you know, a lot of you probably know what the timeshare is. You know, it has to be sold, you know, within a certain time frame, or you lose your money, right? So that is why Mr. Mario is going so hard in Jamaica right now, because he knows a lot of people visit Jamaica, you know, ritually, if I should use that word. So he's trying to get people to buy his timeshare, go to Mexico instead of go to Jamaica, right? Now, you're gonna talk about crime and stuff like that. There are so many. There are so many here places in Mexico that if you make a wrong turn and go there, you might not get back out. Right? Some of the most dangerous cities in Mexico. Right? Tijuana, Acapulco. You know, just to name a few. So you know, you just see that this is just some BS Mr. Mario coming up with. Anyway, I don't really want to get into too much or make this video too long, so I'm gonna, you know, be moving on real quick. But just to show Mr. Mario is such a dishonest person. Alright?
problem is also soon come. This is the thing that as a Canadian, actually, I was going crazy. A friend of mine's from the Netherlands, he was freaking out because they're really punctual. On the island, forget about that. Soon come can mean 10 minutes from now, can be 3 weeks from now. You call a plumber, Maya, me soon come, okay? And then 3 weeks later, the plumber show up. You already had it fixed by someone else, but this guy just show up 3 weeks later like, oh, hello, you know, take me now. Okay, that's a big issue. Another thing with the staff, also they quit or renegotiate price all the time. Okay, that was a big issue. I've never had so much trouble with that. People come in and leaving all the time. Okay, or they come and they work a little bit, and after 2 hours, 3 hours, I want more money, man, more money. No, this too hard. If you don't give me more money, I don't work more. Often I was just, you know, telling them, okay, goodbye. Okay, because I don't accept that. But this is a big issue on the island as well. The security is difficult. As you saw from what I told you at the beginning of the video, the issue is, okay, if you don't have dogs to protect your property, you're gonna have to hire a security guard. Now, we had a bunch of security guard on the property, one at a time, of course. Hawkeye, the company that was providing them to us, okay, was providing us with a guy with a shotgun. Imagine this, okay, I'm getting out of my house to go swim with my daughter in my own private pool, and I have to have a guy with a 12-gauge shotgun right next to us because being attacked on your own property is a problem, okay? Even on the mountain, even in a gated community. This is where, even in resorts, is a problem. If you travel to Jamaica, you're gonna have to stay with the resort, and you're gonna have to travel where they tell you to and make sure that you're gonna be with the people of the resort. If you try to go out on your own, okay, it might be the last trip you'll ever take. And this, you're taking this from a guy who actually...
Yeah, Mr. Mario, right. First of all, no, I've never heard of no private citizen that hires armed security. Right? If you're living in a gated community, there might be security at the gate, but he's speaking as if he has had to hire armed security for his private home, right? And I know that's not true. Right? Second, He said if you're staying at the resort, they won't allow you to go out on your own. That's a lie again. And I know many of you guys probably have visited Jamaica already. Whether you go to Montego Bay, Negril, there are tourists all over the place walking around, and they're not with no one from resorts. Yes, you got to be careful. Just like other countries, you have to be careful. Where you go on the streets, how far you go to, who you go with, and all of that. But nah, there are tourists walking around, especially in Montego Bay, Negril, places like those, every day, late at nights. Right? Okay.
Lived in Africa in a bunch of countries and actually been to Iraq and Afghanistan. I'm telling you that, guys, it's very, very dangerous on the island. Okay, let's take 2 seconds to hear this from the infographic show.
Kingston, Jamaica. Now Jamaica. This is a country where many tourists flock each year. Many of those, though, don't stray too far from their resort, or if they do, they're careful where they go, or are in a tour group of some kind. Crime against tourists might just be a casual pickpocketing in places such as Montego Bay or Negril, but in parts of Kingston, things can get very real. Forbes also tells us Jamaica is the third most dangerous place for women to visit because of sexual assaults. One person on a forum said when he does business in Kingston, he will not go anywhere without an armed guard. Some others say they visit but leave parts of the city out, such as Spanish Town. Other travel websites just say give Kingston a miss, as violence is rampant on any given day. Go out for an all-nighter in Spanish Town as a newcomer? Well, you might not get home in one piece.
Now, like it shows in this video, Kingston is the second most dangerous city in the world. And trust me, when you receive the UNDSS every single morning, this is United Nations, the Department of Security and Safety, the emails in the morning and say, hey, don't go to Spanish Town, don't go on that road. There was a shooting here, there was a shooting there. One staff got sick, and the ambulance show up over there, and basically people robbed the ambulance. I'm not joking, this is Kingston. Now, for school, my daughter was going to AISK. This is the American International School at Kingston. $30,000 a year, right? But they have the AC. It was a secure school, security guards everywhere, very safe place. Also, no indoctrination. This is the biggest issue that kids are facing, okay? Maybe not the local, but the foreigners are. You're gonna be going to school and literally going to do devotion and all kinds of religious stuff. If you're not religious, like I'm not, that's an issue for your kids, okay? And if the second your kids are saying they're not going to church, or they cannot name the church they're going to, okay, they're gonna be ostracized, they're gonna be ridiculed. It's insane how my friends actually suffered and got bullied because of this, okay? So that's a problem. Dealing with the government, okay, that's a big issue too, okay? Of course, it's a developing nation, but the thing is, there's a lot of corruption. Soon come, of course, applies there, so you're gonna have to wait for tons of things. And you don't have any recourse or issues. If you have any problems, forget about it. Sometimes you're gonna have one staff that's gonna take care of importation. If that staff's not there, not interested in doing the work, or wants to have a $500 bribe and you're not willing to give the money, then you could just wait for weeks in order to get your stuff, and by then you have to pay all the fees and everything. So that's why a lot of people, they just shut up, they pay the fee, and that's it. But embassies and diplomats are not allowed to do that, okay? Or we shouldn't do it. So that caused a lot of issue on the island for that. Although they do respect diplomat, that's not bad. But yeah, we had a lot of issues with that. The noise. If it's not the dogs barking, it's gonna be the preachers or the politicians or whatever. They're gonna monopolize the stadium and yelling all night long, okay, very late into the night. This was crazy. All the time there were things. The stadium was literally open air, and everybody heard that stuff all night long. That was another issue. The noise in Jamaica is super loud. Nobody cares. Bars are open, window open, and of course you hear them all the time. That was really tough.
Oh my God. No, well, I don't know what stadium. Anywhere in the world you could go, and there's an event keeping at the stadium for the whole night. For the whole night. And you live in you're supposed to be this big shot, living in this whatever the name is here that you live in, and you could stay from where you are and hear people in bars making noise and shouting and talking. This man is so petty. It's not even funny. These are all some little petty stuff that he's coming up with. Why? Not because he went through any ordeal in Jamaica, but just because he's trying to make some money on the side, and he's trying to get some customers that's going to Jamaica to go to Mexico. So petty. I was listening to hear, he's talking about things that will never make him never go back to Jamaica. Crime rate. Yes, the crime rate is kind of crazy in Jamaica, but these petty stuff that he's coming up with, these are so stupid. It's not even funny, boy. Trust me.
Housing. Okay, our house in Jamaica was very nice. I grant that. Okay, look, you see the house. Okay, it was 7,000 a month, 1 acre land at the top of the mountain. But 7,000 a month with a yearly lease is a lot of money. Okay, I had housing in other places around the world, including Switzerland, that were magnificent and didn't even cost that much. Housing on the island is extremely expensive. Driving on the island. Now, of course, I'm not talking about the fact that they drive on the left side of the road. That's fine. England does that, Japan, Hong Kong, no issues whatsoever with that. The issue is this. They use their high beams at night all the time. So you get blinded all the time. There's not much luminosity. And on top of that, to make it worse, okay, the roads are like a war zone. The minute that you're going to have a bit of rain, okay, and you don't have that much of it, but once you do, oh my God, it's flooding like crazy. So that's why the UN was giving us special training, special advanced driving skills in muds and stuff like that. I think it was really useful. I learned a lot from that course, but the reality is it's needed on the island. Trust me, it's crazy. And I drove all over the place, Mumbai, Hanoi in Vietnam, everywhere. 10 times easier than driving in Jamaica. The airport and flying in and out of the island, it's a bit of a problem because unfortunately they don't have their own airline, first of all. So the only convenient way to get out of the island from Kingston or even from Montego Bay is to go through Miami or maybe some other location like that in the States, because unfortunately direct flight is not something you're gonna have much. Yet charter flight, yes, but normal airlines, if you decide to go to Hong Kong, for example, you're gonna have to transit to the US. There's never gonna be a flight from Hong Kong direct to the island. It's too small and they don't really have that kind of tourist from there. So yeah, you always have to go through Miami. Even flying to Mexico, and we always used to go to Hard Rock in Mexico, despite the fact I could have driven to a good resort in Negril or in Montego Bay, because the service was terrible. So we flew to Mexico and we had to take a flight to Miami, about 8 hours of flight. It's crazy, but that's what it is on the island. Now, if you go for 1 week as a tourist, that's not that much of an issue, and maybe in Montego Bay is not too bad, but in Kingston, the pollution is extreme. Even if you wash your floors every single day, you're still gonna have your brown feet. At the end of the day, you're gonna have to wash your feet before going to bed because they're gonna be super black and dirty. Unfortunately, Kingston, tremendously polluted because they burn the dump and everybody burns everything anywhere.
Oh my God. I have to laugh more. The pollution is so bad that you're gonna have to wash your feet before you go to bed. I've never heard anything like this before in my life. Oh my God, Mr. Murray, is he? And you hear he keep on mentioning Mexico. Yeah, that's where his business is. It's timeshares that he's trying to sell in Mexico. Mr. Mario, boy, I'm telling you. But people, Mr. Mario is, word on the street is that he's not so much of a straight, shooter as he's making it out to be, and talking about he's a diplomat and he works with UN. Mr. Mario doesn't even work with UN. His wife does. Yeah, check it out, people. His wife is the one that's the diplomat. Mr. Mario is just a house husband. that's tagging along wherever the UN sends his wife. And it's happened that she was working in Jamaica with the UN, and he's the husband, so he's coming here talking all this smack like he's this big diplomat. There are some information that I found out about Mr. Mario, that he has been in and out of one scam after another, and trying to make it out like he's this what he call himself, professional traveler, right? And he's in a lot of stuff. That's why he's coming here talking all these things now, right? Trying to sell Bitcoin, that he himself came up with, and all sort of stuff. But he's trying to put down Jamaica. But we'll be looking out from Mr. Mario, because I suspect pretty soon we might get some news on Mr. Mario that is not so welcoming. Trust me, he's in a lot of stuff, that scamming people money and all that crap, right? So we'll be listening out to hear Mr. Mario's story, if it ends anytime soon right now. But yeah, he's not that straight shooter as he's making it out to be. Listen, people.
Instead of just throwing your garbage out, you're gonna just burn your leaves, or burn whatever tree branch you drop. Crazy, that's super polluted, very bad. Dealing with businesses in Jamaica could be very tough as well, okay? Not just the slowness and stuff like that, but also the lies and the deceit and the theft, okay? I'm gonna give you a perfect example. When we arrived, they told us that we had to give $2,000 to guarantee the return of the container to the port, okay? Even though it was their own trucker, and it's not like I can just steal the container. But apparently Jamaican do steal containers a lot, okay? They use them for housing and stuff like that. So they wanted us to give them $2,000 that would be returned 5 days later when the container is returned to the port. I left the island 18 months later, and as you can see, I was still asking the guy to get my money back, and he wouldn't give it back to me. Okay, so I lost $2,000 right there. So micro theft with the maid, or huge theft by companies, this is a standard on the island. And a lot of my friends, since they want to do business with these people, again, because they don't have a choice, they have their businesses, they need to continue doing business with these people. There's not 50 companies that can import stuff on the island. They will see this as a fee for transaction or something like that, and that's it. They'll shut up about it because they don't have a choice. So they just increase the price for the people, and that's why everything's expensive on the island. You steal from me, I'm gonna have to basically turn around and steal from someone else or increase the price, otherwise I'll go bankrupt. And this is standard on the island of Jamaica, sadly. ATM and point-of-sale terminals when you buy stuff. I mean, half the time they don't work, or they don't have the right standard. And I even asked a banker once, I said, are you giving massages when you go to the ATM? Because damn it, why do they take 20 minutes just to withdraw some money? It takes me like 30 seconds to get to the ATM, put my card, put my PIN, withdraw $100. Why do they take a lot of time? Well, I don't know if they're slow in everything they do. They don't understand how ATM works, but man, it's going to the ATM or going to buy something. It's very tough on the island with debit card and credit cards. I recommend that you bring cash. That's it. It's a cash economy. Bring cash. That at least they understand. Now, water shortage is a huge issue on the island. Okay, that's why we had huge tanks at the back. So I think it's like 4,000 liter each. So 8,000 liters for both tanks, and that's something you must have, okay? Because otherwise you're gonna run out of water very often, and if you don't have a backup, and then you're screwed. At least with that, it was probably 2 months worth if you ration. Electricity, same thing. Although we paid a fortune in electricity, we had to rely on the generator sometimes because the electricity shut off for no reason. The medical system. That's another thing that's really weird, okay? Most developing nation I know will always have one or two hospitals for expat or for the rich people on the island or in the country. Like in the Philippines, there have amazing hospitals. Thailand also, tons of places we lived where the hospitals were great. In Jamaica, not so much. It's all small little clinics open whenever. And if you get wounded on the weekend, good luck because most hospitals are closed. Okay, I don't want to demolish the island. Okay, maybe in the 60s they were great. All right.
Hey, I don't know where this man is getting his information from. On the weekends, most hospitals are closed. What the hell? This man, I think this man is crazy, boy. This man is really crazy. Jamaica as I'm not gonna say it has the best, hospital systems or medical system in the world, but I can tell you, Jamaica is up there. Trust me, and there's no hospital closed on no weekends or any time at all. Hospitals in Jamaica open 24/7. The clinics might be closed, but the hospitals never close. This man is full of crap. That's all I can say. Anyway, guys, I'm coming to the end of another video, so thanks again for tuning in, and please remember to like, share, subscribe if you haven't already done so. All right, and before I go, let me thank you guys, for subscribing. I must say I'm honored and happy, for you guys to, who have subscribed. I've reached the thousand mark. So I'm really happy for that, and I thank you guys for supporting the channel. For this little period of time that I'm around. So thanks again. Thank you guys for supporting, and please continue to do so. All right, and just take care of yourselves. God bless, and keep safe. All right, thank you very much. Bless up.
Read, for example, Becoming by Michelle Obama. She mentioned how she loved her time in Jamaica, but that was in the 60s and early 70s. Today, the island is to be avoided. I would never move back there. I would never even step foot on the island for a day. All right? And I still have Jamaican friends, but we just text. We're not going to see each other again. That's it. All right? So I hope that you understood this one, and please be careful.